welcome to the Amex Stadium for your Saturday instalment of Barclays Women's Super League action. It's Brighton versus Manchester United as two of the league's brightest season starters prepare to face off before the international break. A record-breaking number of tickets have been sold by the hosts, who are enjoying their best start to a WSL season. 9 points on the board after 4 games. It took Brighton 11 matches to reach this points tally last season. They make one change, Poppy Pattinson coming into the side after a one-match suspension. Joyce's birthday today, and how she would love to mark a birthday trip to the South Coast with a 4th clean sheet of the season. After an unsettling spell for Brighton with many managerial changes, the Seagulls are soaring under the guidance of their new head coach, Dario Vidicic. United, meanwhile, have won 7 of their 10 WSL encounters against Brighton and visit in confident mood. Boss Mark Skinner said this could be the match of the weekend, and we certainly hope it proves to be, with kickoff just moments away. So the hosts lining up in a 3-4-2-1 formation with Bagley in goal, Forrest Dottir, Bergsvan and Karabali the back three, Kirby, Lasada, Olislagers and Pattinson, with Bremer and Villamala supporting Nikita Paris up top. It's the same formation for the visitors, with Talis Joyce in goal, George Turner, Letitia and Bizet the start as Nalson and Jensen. The midfield duo, Miyazawa, Ella Toon, Grace Clinton supporting Elizabeth Turland as she faces her former side for the first time. It's a swap between the two clubs for their centre forwards, and it's Nikita Paris who will kickstart things here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton in their traditional home kit, the white and blue stripes with blue shorts and white socks, and Manchester United kitted out in the red shirts with black shorts and matching black socks. It's 3rd versus 4th in the WSL. It's Brighton versus Manchester United. Stacey Phillips is the referee for this afternoon's clash. The only game going on in the WSL today. And Brighton, that's underway in front of a brilliant crowd here at the Amex Stadium. Bergsvan has the ball for Brighton, just scanning her options, plays it out to the left-hand side. A nice ball over to that right-hand side as Brighton string the passes together along the back three. Fran Kirby back to Bagley. Brighton really relishing this opportunity to welcome a Manchester United side who haven't conceded a goal yet so far this season after many high-profile exits over the summer, including that of Mary Earps, their goalkeeper. Question marks were posed at the start of the season as to how they would adapt. And with Fallon Tullis-Joyce coming in between the sticks, Manchester United's new number one, who plays with the 91 shirt, has certainly taken that role and made it her own. Gabby George coming over for United. Another player who's come back into the side, settling in really well after suffering an injury just 4 matches into last season. She brings real poise and balance to Mark Skinner's side. Her throw-in, though, is intercepted by the hosts. You can look to build from the back again. It's a good ball forward from Karabali. Linked out to the left-hand side. Brighton enjoying life under their new manager, Dario Vidicic. It's been a tough spell for Brighton in the last couple of years. 4 managers since Hope Powell stepped down in 2022. But with their new boss, they seem to have found a rhythm early on. Off to a fantastic start, beating Everton 4-0 on the opening day of the season. They were narrowly beaten away at Manchester City. Beat Aston Villa 4-2 in their last home game. And managed to battle and beat Palace 1-0 last weekend. It wasn't the prettiest of victories, according to their captain Vicky Losada, but it showed that they have an edge about them. They know how to win games, even when they're not playing their best football. For now, they're going to have to do some defending, as United have won a throw-in, advanced in the Brighton half. And the flag goes up. And that organisation that Brighton have built upon with each match this season paying dividends. Brighton's bright start to the season has attracted lots down to the Amex this Saturday. A record number of tickets sold for the game in a trip south coast. Impressive 3-0 victory against Spurs last week, and they weren't at their best, Manchester United, but they were clinical. Elizabeth Turland scoring her first goals for the football club. It's the hosts who've had the lion's share of possession in the opening stages, as George, under some pressure, plays it back to Tullis-Joyce. The ball goes out for a throw-in for Brighton, and that is met with warm applause from the home crowd. Brighton with the throw-in. Gets played back. And the ball is given away, and this is a really good opportunity for the visitors. The first break of the match. And the shot comes in, and it requires a good save from Sophie Bagley. It was Miyazawa with the strike. Manchester United with a golden opportunity to take the lead, and it was Brighton, who are masters of their own downfall, giving away possession. Miyazawa had time, she had space, and Bagley had to get low to her left and get a good firm glove to it to give Manchester United First corner of the game. Six minutes played. 0-0 between these sides. United take the corner. It's bobbling around in the 6-yard area. It's mishit and eventually cleared by Brighton. Although they've had more time on the ball, it's Manchester United who've had the best chance of the game so far. And they're looking to build another attack through the thirds. Play switched up to the left-hand side. Some neat play as the ball's cut back. Still it falls to Manchester United. This is their best spell of the match so far in these early exchanges. Good defending by the home team. Every clearance at the moment is falling to a player in red and black. Turner. Ball play forward by United, and that should be gathered by Sophie Bagley, who left Manchester United back in 2023, making the move to Brighton. Made 10 appearances for the Red Devils. She started all WSL games for Brighton so far this season, keeping 2 clean sheets in the process. Bergson back to her keeper. Karabali with the offer. And the press from United making things very uncomfortable for Brighton's back three. Pattinson offers some support. To Karabali, he launches it long towards that left hand side, bouncing around. Head is nodded down, and Brighton look to turn and open up another attack, and they win the free kick. Nikita Paris working so hard for her team, often dropping back into those deep scenarios. It's a free kick that Brighton take quickly. Bergson now going long. The pass forwards will be collected by Tallis Joyce. George. A nice ball forward that enables Manchester United to charge into the Brighton half. Some space opening up on that right-hand side. The patch of the Amex that is in the sunshine this Saturday afternoon. Cross comes in. It's a good one. It's a really good cross in. And that is the opener for Manchester United. The ball turned in by Grace Clinton. Less than 10 minutes on the clock, and the visitors take an early lead at the Amex Stadium. A brilliant ball whipped in. Grace Clinton adding to her tally this season. She said she felt like a new signing coming into this Manchester United team after a brilliant loan spell at Spurs, and she has added so much quality in front of goal. Has already made an impact for Manchester United. She nudges them ahead here early on. Bit disappointing for Brighton to have conceded that goal so early on here. They've been hard to break down, organised and resilient. The quality of the movement from Clinton has given United a real spring in their step. United with more room down that right-hand side. Try and find a way to test Brighton. Again, it proved fruitful in the opening goal. And United get another cross in from that area. Manchester United purring with a confidence now. They're 1-0 up at the Amex. 3 wins in 3 in the WSL so far this season. It was a summer of change. Mark Skinner and the side have begun the campaign well. And it's another brilliant advance forwards from the visitors. Elizabeth Turland up against her former teammates, her movement and intelligence causing the Brighton defence some trouble there. The shot straight at Bagley, dealt with well by the Brighton keeper. Brighton winless in 6 at home to Manchester United. We need to find a response and a way to retrieve possession here as Manchester United come in on goal again, and the ball ricochets the underskirt of the crossbar, and the follow-up is dealt with by Bagley. Manchester United on top and almost getting a second goal. The effort came in and it looked like it was bound to ripple the back of the net. Bagley did well to get back up on her feet to deny Miyazawa on the follow-up. United knocking and knocking as we approach the first 15 minutes. It was a slowish start from the visitors, but they're finding their groove. Ball forward intercepted by Brighton. Bergsvand, we've seen on a couple of occasions having plenty of time to think about her options due to the shape that Manchester United are playing behind the ball, but this is a good opening for the hosts. And Manchester United stifling in midfield. They can carry the ball forwards down this left-hand side. Pass forwards is a good one. And another good cross comes in, headed away along the edge of the 6-yard area and booted clear. Every clearance at the moment seems to be falling to a Manchester United player. United moving the ball about nicely. Over out to the right-hand side. Manchester United 1-0 to the good against Brighton, switching up play over to that left-hand side. Another cross comes in. Brighton players surrounding Turland. Eventually, it's cleared only so far as Turner, who hooks it over. Letitia. Gabby George. Some lovely passing down the left-hand channel, but this should be seen out by Brighton, and it is. Manchester United picking up possession yet again. And the free kick going the way of the visitors. This is a good position for Manchester United. 20 minutes on the clock, 1-0 up. Had to see some neat play from Grace Clinton and its former Brighton Academy graduate Maya Letitia standing over this set piece. Some good movement in and around the box. The header initially from United, cleared by the home team. Looked to break away. That's some brilliant recovery defending from Letitia. Making her 100th start in the WSL this afternoon. Absolutely remarkable. She breaks Lauren Hemp's record. Hemp achieved that when she turned 23 years old and 124 days. Maya Letitia is just 22 years old. A brilliant achievement from the Brighton Academy graduate, who was flourishing as well in her role as captain. A good ball over the top. will be dealt with by Brighton. Despite good pressure from Clinton, the foul is given. Bergsvand. Square to Karabali. Manchester City and Arsenal have completed more passes than Brighton so far this season. 420 team. Their best last season was 209. Signal of the improvement being made under Dario Vidicic. But that won't give in the ball away to a player like Enatoun. It's a good choice, an unselfish choice, and the cross comes in. And now Brighton just looking to take off that pressure, but there is no release. Manchester United working so hard, both on and off the ball. Jensen, back to Letizier. Receives it back, has time to turn. It's a loose touch and poorly controlled, and Kirby's there, but Kirby gives the ball away. You can see the frustration etched into her body language. United 1-0 up. And looking comfortable. The ball's played down that right-hand side. Kirby to Bramer. Looking to Paris, offering an option. Gabby George and Marsland. But still, Bramer manages to find Paris. As Brighton try to unlock something down the right-hand side. They will win the throw-in. This is about as advanced as Brighton have been in the opening exchanges. The throw-in taken. Dealt with ease by United. Turlin, the goal scorer, holding play well. Received many plaudits from her manager this week. Comparisons to Ellen White and Erling Haaland. It's another clever run by Elizabeth Turlin. It forces Bagley off of her line to try and deal with it with her feet. Bagley comes charging out and boots the ball away. And those are the kind of questions that Elizabeth Turlin poses. She creates uncertainty. She builds a nervous edge, not only with goalkeepers as well. Now Manchester United can commit more bodies forward. George will take the throw in. 25 minutes played. Man United 1-0 up. The only game of the day in the WSL. Finds Janssen. Some glorious space over on that right-hand side. The ball into the 18-yard area. Play from United. With a little give and go option of the run, but the shot's taken right on the corner for the visitors. Toom doing really well to drag the Brighton player away momentarily. The shot came in. Brighton struggling at the moment to spend any time in the Manchester United half. United defending high and owning the midfield area of the pitch, but Brighton do win a free kick. It's taken quickly. A foray into the United territory. Promising run forward down the left-hand side. Brighton have scored 8 goals across their 2 games so far this season. Can they find an equaliser? Can they be the first team to score against Man United this season? Field players now in the United half. Brighton 0, Manchester United 1. Early goal from Grace Clinton. The difference between these 2 teams so far. 2 teams who've made really promising starts to the new season. Both had summers of real change. In the dugout for Brighton, and for Manchester United, a number of key players, including Passages New. Mark Skinner reiterated in pretty much each press conference that he's looking to build a team that's young. He's spoken about the positive attitude of the player in their opening far. George to Miyazawa. Gabby George gets the ball. Back for 5, including Tullis. Her former club Spurs in the side again, offering a really good outlet for Manchester United. Forrest off here. Back to Bergsvand. Good passing sequence from the home team. Intercepted eventually by United. Brighton feel they should have run a free kick there, but play continues. This is perhaps the most fluid spell so far for the home team. Minutes played and Fallon Tullis-Joyce with very little to do in the Manchester United goal. Although United won 3-0 last week, their keeper was busy, 7 saves in total. Cross comes in and the block's there. Brighton win a corner. It was a nice run forwards from the home team. George reacting well. And now it's time for Brighton to test United with a routine from the training ground. Plenty of bodies in the box. Plenty of aerial threats as well to be targeted for the Seagulls. The first cross blocked. Ball makes its way into the 18-yard area. A little bit of space opening up. Plenty of space opening up here. The shot might have been on, it might have been ambitious. Instead, the pass played. Brighton looking to be patient. Ball hooked clear by Turner. Nodded down and away by Clinton. Home crowd sense. Brighton need to make the most of this, their best spell in the United half. Still Fallon Tallis-Joyce untested. Those gloves yet to be called into action. The long ball's hooked over and then cleared. Only so far as Pattinson. Letizia under some pressure. United win the throw-in. United with 3 wins under their belt in the WSL and in the League Cup as well. Their squad has been rotated, changes have been made. They've been solid defensively. They've been able to find the back of the net. 2 3-0 wins in the league against Spurs and West Ham. And Grace Clinton with the winner. And their 1-0 victory against Everton. Clinton on the score sheet so far this afternoon. Her goal still the only difference between these two teams. With over half an hour played. Free kick for Brighton. Smart piece of movement from Nikita Paris. And the yellow card is shown as well. Letizia in conversation with the referee. Bit of frustration from Manchester United. They have to defend this set piece, which enables Brighton again to get more players upfield. You can see Forrest Dottir jogging forward to join her teammates on the edge of the 18-yard area. It's a routine from training ground. It's nodded away by United. And eventually carried clear. United charging forwards down the right-hand side. Confirmation. A Manchester United player, Lisa Nielsen, booked 1 apiece in this game so far. There's 10 minutes remain of the opening half between teams who started the day 3rd and 4th in the WSL. Brighton finished 9th last season, and it was a 5th place finish for Manchester United, winning the FA Cup, a real highlight for Mark Skinner, but their form in the WSL was mixed, and it produced plenty of criticism, some pressure even on Skinner. The start United have made has been impressive, and their away display this afternoon too. They looked organised, confident. So far, I've taken a really big chance for Grace Clinton, and a tomb with an opportunity as well. Her 94th consecutive start in the WSL. Incredible play, Manchester United. So she hooks the ball forwards to get on the end of providing something for Grace Clinton. Again, another really smart, nifty player in this Manchester United attacking Arsenal. Stretch defenders cause headaches all afternoon. Brighton going long with the ball over the top. Turner has that covered easily. And allow the ball to trickle through to her goalkeeper. United happy to step off and invite Brighton to find that killer pass. Find that way to dissect a defence that hasn't conceded so far this season. The centre-back partnership of Turner and Laetitia, so solid for United. There's big changes on either side. Even Leah Galton to the back four in the opening game of the season against West Ham. A brilliant ball played forward. Turland with the cross. Boos ringing out around the Amex. There was a player down when that attacking move came to life. See Turn just cleverly taking a look over her shoulder, picking the cross out. Play has been paused and it will enable the Brighton player to receive treatment. And both sets of players to go over to the technical areas. United taking on board water and Brighton taking on tactical instructions. They're a goal down here at the Amex. Derek Vidicic speaking to Poppy Pattinson. The one change made by the Brighton boss, returning to the side following her one-match suspension. Nikita Paris as well, you can see orchestrating and talking to her teammates, particularly to the back three who have had plenty of time on the ball and sometimes have looked a bit pensive on it. When that decision making has been quick and almost instinctive, Brighton have looked troublesome. Manchester United will be pleased with the way its opening 40 minutes have unfolded. Fallon Tullis' choice, the birthday girl, largely untroubled. Grace Clinton's goal early on gives United the lead. They've had chances as well, hit the underskirt of the crossbar. Ella Toon taking on board lots of instruction. 7 years with the club, vice captain this season. Morocco, she only turned 25 last month. What an asset she is to Sale as well as Manchester United will be forced into a change here. Frustrated figure of Pauline Bramer making her way off of the field. Madison Haley will be coming on for the Seagulls.
Substitution for Brighton Hove Albion, coming off number 8, Paulina Bremer. Being replaced by number 21, Madison Haley.
Brighton had something similar happen in their game last week against Crystal Palace, suffering an injury, but they have got so much quality, so many options. Least of all, Iseke for September scored a hat-trick on her debut, and Michelle Adjamang on loan from Hull, Brighton's youngest ever goal scorer with an appearance off of the bench, only 18 years old, called up for the England under-23s, tells you all about the quality that she can offer. To the Seagulls, should they require some offensive changes. At the moment, it's all about that service being provided to their more creative players. Forwards with the experience of Paris and Kirby. And Paris in particular will be wanting to make an impact against her former team. The club's almost swapping strikers over the summer. Elizabeth Turland making the move to Manchester United. Nikita Paris on deadline day making her move to the south coast. This opening half, United with a throw in, way line. George didn't have much space to navigate her body around. The defender marking up close, and Brighton now with a chance. Can they create something before the half-time whistle blows? Toon doing really well, Toon coasting inside and then switching up play over to the right hand side, over to the sunny part of the field of play here at the Amex Stadium. A brilliant backdrop for this WSL encounter, and it's a really good piece of movement. Catches Brighton out, and United late in the half contest their hosts from this corner. Delivery comes in, hooked towards goal. Any chance of a counter-attack, though, stifled by United. Ball played back towards safety. Plenty of time. United with the upper hand as we head towards half-time. As possession is pinched, much to the crowd's jubilation. And we see Brighton secure an equaliser before the break. Ball's cut back, it's absolutely fantastic. And that is the best chance of the game, falling to the Brighton substitute. Should have been put away. Ball was perfectly weighted, the cutback. Exactly what forward would want, and the left-footed strike from Haley forces a brilliant intervention from United. We have a corner to defend now. By Talis Joyce. For a Brighton throw. The pressure is on late in this half, as the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes. Can Brighton find that ruthless edge before the whistle blows? The ball played forwards. Will go out for a goal kick. Last line of defence standing strong for Manchester United, the only team in the WSL yet to concede. Haley coming ever so close to being the first player to put the ball beyond Fallon Talis Joyce. Brighton fans sitting in the sunshine will be encouraged with this spell late on in the half for the home team. Only lost once this season, and that was narrowly to Manchester City. There's goals in this team, especially at home. Makes for a very exciting second half to look forward to. United have possession. Neat turn. Ball played out to the right hand side. A similar position to where the cross was whipped in for the opening and only goal of the game so far. It's dangerous for United. will have a second opportunity to recycle play and whip the ball in. Headed away and then cleared. Turner's there for United. A sentence many commentators will say throughout the season. She drives forward, gets out a neat pass to the left-hand side. To Miyazawa. Back to Turner. Turner finds Toon on the edge of the 18-yard area. The delivery comes in. Comes again to United. Gabby George. The touch comes in on the far side. Sophie Bagley able to retrieve for Brighton. As we approach the 3 minutes of a minimum additional time period. The half-time whistle does blow here at the Amex Stadium. An early goal from Grace Clinton. The difference between these two teams at the break. It's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester United 1. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the opening 45 minutes of this WSL contest. Manchester United tested the gloves of Sophie Bagley on this from Hinata Miyazawa. And although the hosts had a fair share of the ball in the opening exchanges, it was United who took the lead. This brilliant delivery from the right-hand side, tucked away by Grace Clinton. Finish with poise from a young player, brimming with confidence. Manchester United really began to apply the attacking pressure. Elizabeth Turlan's movement off of the ball, providing many outlets, and they even hit the underskirt of the crossbar with this effort, and a fantastic follow-up save by Bagley to deny the visitors from taking the lead. Brighton could, maybe should, have been level at the break for this fantastic save from the bell. Fallon, Tullis and Joyce. No team has scored past Manchester United so far this season, and that has proven to be the case in the opening 45 minutes here at the Amex Stadium. Do join us for the second half. At half-time, though, it's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester United 1. Welcome back to the Amex, where it is Brighton versus Manchester United in the Barclays WSL. Grace Clinton's neat finish from a Celine Bizet cross. Her third assist of the week is the difference between these two teams. What a shrewd signing Bizet is proving to be. No player has assisted more in the WSL than her so far this season. Confirmation of changes for the home team in search of an equalising goal. This game still evenly poised at the Amex. Brighton have scored 8 goals in 2 home games. They have got players who can turn matches around in the blink of an eye. Michelle Adjemang on loan from Arsenal in particular, a player who oozes quality and has such an instinctive presence in front of goal. The Seagulls with possession over on the right-hand side, and the little patch of sunshine moving into the shadows and out to the left, where possession is won back by Clinton. Neat ball forward to Turland. on the corner of the 18-yard area. Bizet making the overlapping run. The cross comes in. It's a good one. Almost forces the corner. Headed away. United, though, still holding up play. The cross from the left-hand side. Dealt with by Sophie Bagley in the Brighton goal. Twisting and turning, and some really instinctive passing between Manchester United players has shone in patches throughout this game so far. Pattinson. Square to Bergsvand. Kirby. Brighton now on the halfway line. And they move the ball about quickly, Brighton. They've been far more troubling for United. And this is better. Paris drops deep. It's thwarted by United, who turn over possession. And now charge forwards down the right-hand side. History maker at Latoon. Syncing up play. So a good cross comes in. Headed and still not dealt with as neatly as Brighton would like. Manchester United win a throw-in, advanced in the Brighton half, much to the dismay of the Seagulls players over on that side of the field of play. Brighton enjoying their best start to a WSL season. They've won 3 of their 4 games. Took 11 matches to reach the 9 points that they begun the day with. Some transformative change, really, in a short space of time under Dario Vidosic. Brighton had 4 coaches since Hope Powell stepped down in 2022. It was a lot of change, a lot of disruption. But their new boss has settled into life well down in the South Coast, and his players have been responded as well, a number of whom were involved in the squad last year. Some shrewd loan moves and some experience in the likes of Fran Kirby. And Nikita Paris brought in. As Brighton have committed bodies forward, there's an opening now for United. Advantage play. Five minutes into the second period, as Bizet to chase that ball played towards her. Still Manchester United 1, Brighton 0. Keita Paris up against her former side. As Manchester United's top goal scorer last season, helped them win the FA Cup. She's a Champions League winner, of course. Oozes quality. Just needs a little bit of service, and this is a brilliant run forwards by Brighton. And is there going to be an open for the hosts to draw level? Haley again in the right place to get the shot away. Let's see already Michelle Jam with her strength and power charging forwards. There's something a little bit different to the Brighton front line. Certainly exposed a bit of a soft spot in the United defence, even if temporarily. Brighton on the attack again. It's another good move for the home team. It's with hands on deck for United defending. It's attack after attack eventually leads in Brighton getting their equaliser. And the Amics absolutely love it. Listen to the noise as Nikita Paris scores against her former club, and I think she quite enjoyed that. A brilliant, brilliant example of centre forwards being in the right place at the right time and showing cool, calm, steely composure. The deftest of touches, but my goodness, what an important one. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Manchester United 1, and who was going to be the first player to score against United? And Nikita Paris. Perfect response in this second half for Brighton. You have possession. All play forwards. Watson just getting enough to it. Retrieves the ball for United on the halfway line under pressure from Paris. Backed up by Ejimang as well. And now Nikita Paris. Plays it back to Karabali. Lasada. The ball back to her centre back, Bergsland, who's the anchor of the Brighton back three. Can Manchester United respond positively, conceding their first goal of the season? They haven't been in this position so far this campaign. The saying is that you're most vulnerable minutes after you've conceded. United's defence looking a little vulnerable here. Haley, Ejimang, getting hungry off of the ball and strong on it. So United advance forward down the left-hand side. An overlap offered. The shot comes in. Sophie Bagley, the former United player, will deal with that easily. You can see the spaces for United. Required a shot far more powerful than that one, though, to cause Bagley any problems in the Brighton goal. The Brighton keeper plays it long and forwards. On the right foot, Ejimang with a brilliant touch forwards. And now Nikita Paris is on her way up against her former team. One goal already. Can she help Brighton turn this game completely around? Plays it back to Lasada. That's not a bad decision at all. Brighton now comfortable, composed and confident. Exactly how Manchester United were. And they got the game's opener through Grace Clinton. All square now, though. 10 minutes into the second half. Turland hustling away, and Toon looking to do the same for United. Brighton forward down the left. Atkinson looking to link up, and it's a nice piece of play from the home team. Just off of balance, she attempted to make the cross into the box. Down for Manchester United. Bizet back up off on her feet quickly, and that'll be very encouraging for Manchester United supporters. As I said at the start of the half, 3 assists to her name already this season. No player has created more for their teammates than the new signing, who joined from Spurs. Another young, hungry player that exactly fits the mould Mark Skinner is after. He made that clear over the summer, how he wanted to build this team. And play will restart. Tyler Joyce just rolling it to Maya Letitia, the former academy graduate, made 58 appearances for Brighton between 2018 and 2022. 100th start in the WSL today. Phenomenal for the young player, who I suspect will rack up many hundreds more in her career. Brighton continuing to apply the pressure. And a throw in. Nice play from Brighton, advancing into the box, played back out. Corner. Since the restart, it's been all Brighton in this WSL contest. They've breached Manchester United's defence once. Can they do it again? Free, played along the ground. Back out to be recycled. Options on the edge of the area, support provided too. Brighton will get a second attempt. And perhaps the chance to go more direct from this corner. We saw Nikita Parris showcase her aerial ability with the goal she scored. Delivery does go direct into a sea of blue and red, and it's Paris Karabali just to get possession back, and that's loose from Brighton. Don't want to give the ball away, especially to a player like Elizabeth Turland. Good recovery from the Seagulls. Pass played out to the right hand side. Brighton elect to play the ball out. To enable their mate to receive treatment. See other concern from Vicky Lasada and many others on the field of play. And Brighton just want to check in on their former teammate. Play will be able to recontinue. An hour gone. Brighton 1. Manchester United 1. "30 minutes left for both these sides to search out a winner." Played long and intercepted by United for a Brighton throw. Brighton are winless in 6 in the WSL at home to Manchester United. Their last victory against the Red Devils coming in 2021. Score was 1-0 on that day. It always tend to be tough, tight encounters in the league. Certainly that was the case last season. Finished 2-2. The contest on the South Coast last campaign, and United, through ironically Nikita Parris securing a brace, beat Brighton 2-0 at home, and teams also faced each other in the FA Cup quarter-final. A far easier contest for Man United on that occasion, 4-0 victory. You guessed it, Nikita Paris was on the score sheet that day as well. You can see on the edge of his technical area, Vidicic living and breathing every moment as his team are well in this contest. They need to make the most of the period where they have the upper hand. Mark Skinner too, prowling along the edge of his area. Both managers fully engaged in a contest many have looked forward to all week between two teams who've shown real promise in the early round of games in the WSL. Head towards the international break, but plenty of action in the division tomorrow. With a long ball forwards. Has to be dealt with, and is dealt with by Letitia. Just looks so dangerous, doesn't she? Coming on as a substitute for Brighton. Scored in the match against Aston Villa. Hoping that this loan spell from Arsenal will be a productive one for the talented teenager. Again, she's got all of her physical strength to cause all sorts of problems for the United defence. Just having that ability to have a forward player who can turn scenarios like that into corners and set-piece opportunities. It's a huge, huge asset for this Brighton side. It's certainly made a difference since coming on. They do it again. The delivery comes in. It's a busy, packed 6-yard area. Heavy collision. Some brave defending required. Millie Turner just requiring a second or two. Turner, one of the few originals left in this Man United squad. Start every game is so solid for United. We'll see that corner come in again and the congestion in and around that area. Turner hit the deck heavily and the referee blew up immediately for the foul. Clinton, a smart pass forwards. So just comes sliding in from Karabali. And United win the throw-in. Is it ushered to go a few yards back? A strong throw forwards, dealt with by Pattinson. We'll take the follow-up throw for the home team. She too will be asked by the referee to retreat. And there's options around for Pattinson. He gets the ball back. A magnet to two red shirts. And the pressure is capitalised upon by Clinton. Down the right-hand side. Clinton thwarted, but able to get the cross in. Brighton through Ajman again, looking to twist and turn. Good defending from Letitia, who's not giving the Arsenal only an inch of space. I think she's seen on a couple of occasions the danger in doing so. Johnson to Toon. Sees a little nudge at the back. Advantage played. Sliding challenge coming in from Haley. Brighton really have turned things up a notch. The intensity has gone up another level in this second half. There were phases in the first half where you could feel a little fizz of frustration. The ball around with more urgency. It's testing Manchester United far, far more. And after a busy first half, Sophie Bagley hasn't had to perform anything other than the routine in this second period. Might she now, though, as the cross comes in for United. Header in, cleared. Also Fargent. Plenty of options around for United. Good switch up of feet, and the delivery comes in. United making some half-hearted appeals because the hosts look sharp, alert. They look like they're going to create another attacking move here. The challenge comes in and the advantage isn't played. The yellow card is issued. The free kick will be taken by Brighton. Adjoman just comes over to her manager to receive some further instructions. Again, she just feels like the spark might just create something special for Brighton, who haven't beaten Manchester United at home since 2021. Poppy Pattinson for Brighton. Confirmation of Grace Clinton's yellow card. United goal scorer in the book for the challenge. Adjoman back to Lasada. He was very frank in her post-match interview last week that Brighton were nowhere near the levels they should be or expect to be, despite victory against Crystal Palace. She was a really eye-catching signing for the Seagulls last summer. It's on everything there is to win with Barcelona. Or their eternal captain. There's plenty of players in this Brighton team who've won trophies and titles, whether that be in this country or across Europe. As the flag goes up on this occasion, Adjoman just caught out. She'll join up with her England teammates in the under-23s this week. Frank Kirby, too, back in with the seniors, which is wonderful to see. Fallon Joyce just signals that she requires some treatment with 20 minutes left to go in this WSL contest. It's Brighton 1, Manchester United 1. These teams were even on 9 points before the match begun, with United having played one less game. Their match against Chelsea was postponed. Carlos Joyce, a fantastic save in the first half. A brilliant performance last week at Spurs. So much was said, so much was written about who would fill the void, who would Manchester United go out and recruit. She stepped up and stepped into a team that have only conceded one goal so far this season. And that goal was scored by Brighton's number 9, who you can see in shot, Nikita Paris, with a brilliantly well-taken header to draw her side level. Paris and Kirby, so much experience between the pair of them, probably thrive for moments in games like this. They know they just need a sniff, they need one opening, one chance. There wasn't too much in the first half, and the ball came in. Nikita Paris showcased her poacher's instinct with a glancing header that Tallis Joyce could do nothing about in the United goal. Manchester United kept 7 clean sheets last season. They conceded the most amount of goals in the top 4, 32 goals, and it cost them. They can continue to keep up this tight defensive beginning to the season. It will help. A double change for the visitors. Miyazawa comes off, Ethan Mannion in her place. And Simi Awujo comes on in place of Lisa Nelson. 2 changes for Mark Skinner. Manchester United have had a winning start to the season. They'll make it 4 out of 4 before the international break, and there could be a chance to regain the lead, but the offside flag is up. We've seen how the bench has made an impact for Brighton so far. Perhaps you can see what Simi Awujo, one of the many exciting young players to join the WSL over the summer, the Canadian who featured in the Olympics. Massive, massive Manchester United fan as well. Spoke about how much of a dream it was to join her favourite club. What it meant to her and her family. And with about 15 minutes of the 90 to go. This is the kind of game you want to show to your manager. I can come on, I can make a difference. The header nodded down as the substitute gets her first few touches. United win the throw-in on that halfway line. Work rate from Brighton, you can see the pressure being applied, and they win the throw-in. And that pressure being applied. Joint combination with Pattinson leads mates out down the other end of the field. Brighton will be wanting to get Paris involved with some action. The offensive third. Ball won back by Manchester United. The cross comes in. Headed away. And so far as Jensen. He plays it out to the left. Feels like United are beginning to build here. It's a corner. And United fans behind goal, up off their feet, supporting their team. Have the chance to test Brighton from a set piece. What can they do with this corner? The arm signal is made as the delivery comes in. It's close. And eventually cleared by Brighton. 2-0 for the visitors. Good applying the pressure. Brighton giving away the throw-in, but look at how close United were from regained in the whip on her. Bagley goal line. Tissier to Turner. Marie Tissier is making her 100th start in the WSL. Young, just 22 years old, captain in Manchester United. She's a player that's had to deal with disappointment. She didn't get into the Lionesses squad. She went and travelled with the group, but had to return home. She has a great deal of maturity, intelligence, and emotional intelligence as well that lends so favourably to her leadership style on the pitch. Stepped up and took the penalty last week and coolly converted against Spurs. Often you see a centre-back doing so. Tissier could well become one of those WSL greats. For the first 100 games and starts as anything to go by. She has the ball now. Feeds it long to the left-hand side. First time touch forward. Will be chased. Dealt with accordingly by Brighton. Penned into the corner. Forced to clear long, and it's picked up by Manchester United. Space on that left-hand side. If the ball can be fed there, it is. The deep delivery. And Clinton's taken a heavy knock in the box. It is the Manchester United goal scorer who still looks to be in a degree of discomfort.
Barclays Women's Super League match at the American Express Stadium, 8,369.
And as you might well have picked up, it's greeted with warm applause by supporters around the Amex Stadium. A record-breaking crowd of over 8,000 for the Seagulls watching this WSL encounter against Manchester United. A little bit of history written into the books. Brilliant to see. Attendance is growing. And for this Brighton team, under Dario Vidicic, who've started the season so brightly, chance to showcase their improvements over the summer. They've made this a real battle against Manchester United. Been hard fought, and nothing to separate the two teams as we head towards the final 10 minutes. Challenges flying in, and so much work rate off of the ball from Brighton. Kirby and Haley looking to shut down the space. United forced to play it between their two centre-backs. Turn to see out. Pass trickles across the midfield through to Gabby George, who has Toon in support. Toon elects to carry it forwards, and the cross comes in. It's a good one. Bagley comes off of her line and collides with the Manchester United player, a former teammate in fact. See a replay again as United built up down that left-hand side. Bagley came off of her line, turned and nudged away from the danger.
Number 9, the Brighton Hove Albion, Nikita Paris.
we still can see a bit of late drama. We've seen Nikita Paris named player of the match by the Brighton Hove Albion supporters, score against her former club. Elizabeth Turland, described as incredible, immense and intense by her manager, scored 20 goals in 39 Brighton appearances, 13 in the last season alone, and she's still yet a golden chance in front of goal for the visitors, who have possession in their own half. Turner square to Letitia. Not too many shirts in the box, but there's a neat ball played forward and cut back as well, read well, and it had to be by the home team. United retrieve the ball quickly. No, they need to keep this level of intensity up, should score a late winner here. Falls kindly and the shot comes in. How many times have we seen Ella Toone in that type of territory for Manchester United find the back of the net with an absolute screamer? It was a positive drive forwards from United. Ball laid off neatly. Toone's strike dealt with, seen well by Bagley, former Manchester United goalkeeper. He's going to be such an important player for Brighton. The challenge comes in and Brighton win the free kick. Aoife Mannion, an apologetic right hand lifted aloft to the referee. She receives a yellow card. A challenge that perhaps just typifies the commitment and desire from United. It was a late one though. Benjamin, just a word in her ear from her gaffer. Carabali gets back up on her feet and she'll be required. There's a final 5 minutes plus additional time. No mistake of that. This is Dario Kadicic's first game in charge at the Amex. Represented Australia at international level. He's brought fresh impetus to Brighton. So every team should aim to be a champion. And that confidence fuels his players. And his players need to show some character here as they defend this Manchester United attack down the left-hand side. Clinton has Mannion to her right. Lizette in support. I know how dangerous Lizette can be in these scenarios. Not marked nearly as tightly as she should have been. Gets the cross. Brighton now have the ball and it's held up well. Every pass needs to be exact. Concentration levels need to be turned right up for Brighton. Under some considerable pressure here. United search for an equaliser. 4 minutes left of the 90 to go. Brighton 1, Man United 1. It goes the way of Manchester United. To Letitia, to Turner. George is an option on the left-hand side, but Turner charges forwards. Shut down by Brighton. Gaining yards for Brighton. The youngster. Letitia, good strong challenge, and it needed to be. Benjamin's exposed that side of the pitch, and on a number of occasions now Letitia has had to come and deal with what her colleagues cannot, and that is the threat that Michelle Hagerman poses. Just one back possession for Brighton. It's a bit of a coming together and the referee blows. I think particularly untoward there. Means that Manchester United can stop play, get bodies forward, and Laetitia can do what she's done on a number of occasions so far this afternoon, and that is play it long forward for United. Carabali's there. And here's an opening for Brighton. The shot comes in. And Fallon Tullis-Joyce once again stepping up when needed. Manchester United just not alert to the danger. And the strike from distance had power and placement. And Tullis-Joyce gets over to her right hand side to deal with it. There was a slight pull on her shirt from Pattinson. Referee says play on. The atmosphere is electric here at the Amex in these final stages of what has been a enthralling WSL contest. Ball cleared. And so far as Laetitia, there'll be one last chance for either of these two teams. Kuhn plays it forward. The cross comes in. And the strike, and another wonderful save. Sophie Bagley down low to her right-hand side. Right-footed strike. And to win a tiny little bit of space that the Brighton goalkeeper had covered. We're into the final minute of the 90. Brighton 1, Manchester United 1. Brighton playing in front of a record-breaking crowd, the Amex. Responded so well in the second half to go for a goal down. And Rachel Williams, known as United super sub, comes on to be part of this corner. It's headed away, only so far as Bizet, the ball recycled back into a sea of players. And then an effort, an ambitious one, goes high and wide. The 90 is up. The fourth official has indicated we will have a minimum of 5 more minutes here at the Amex. 5 more minutes. A final twist in the tail. And again, it's proven to be the battle many would have anticipated between these two teams. Brighton enjoying their best start to a WSL season up against Manchester United, who under Mark Skinner have yet to drop points. Before kick-off, hadn't even conceded a goal. Nikita Paris, the former player, has something to say about that. Ball won by Brighton. Kirby out to the right hand side. Poor bit of control. Manchester United latch onto it. Ball forwards though picked up by the hosts. All outfield players in the Manchester United half. The momentum of this second 45 really has swung in phases. Now it's the home team looking to pose the final conclusive questions. It might be a fair reflection. The Seagulls after so much more. Ball played forwards. Headed by Mannion. And then charges forward for Manchester United. Plays it out to the right hand side. Sprinted to get there. And trying to hold Bizet up as much as possible. And the decision goes against the Brighton defender. She gets the yellow card and you can hear the boos ringing around the Amex Stadium, because this is a precious, precious opportunity for the visitors. the dying stages of the game, and you know who wants to take it. Grace Clinton comes over to pick up the ball. So technically gifted and composed as well. She scored United's only goal this afternoon. Could she perhaps turn assist provider late on here? One player will. In fact, Bagley is issuing out her instructions, getting her players organised. It's a tantalising position for Clinton to whip this ball in. Bobbing in around the 6-yard area, eventually cleared. The cross comes in. There's a sliding challenge from Kirby. And the free kick leads to a corner. Corner that Clinton will ably take, and look at those United supporters who've travelled to the south coast today, all up on their feet. Suck the ball into the back of the net and go away with 3 points. Can they do it, United? Comes in, headed away. Another cross into the box, another clearance. And the ball booted upfield. Anywhere will do for Brighton. One minute of the additional 5 left to be played. Can these teams be separated? One last chance. Who will it fall for? United. Another cross into the 6-yard area. It's headed away for a corner. Surely can't be much time left for United. It's now or never. They're going to go into the international break with a perfect winning start to the season in the WSL. Corner comes in, invades absolutely everyone, and will be seen out by Brighton. Could well be the last bit of action we see. Sophie Bagley goes to retrieve the ball. Minutes of football, which has shown yet again just how competitive the Barclays Women's Super League is this season. It gets stronger and stronger each year. Plenty of players coming into the division. Makes for really good spectacles. And whilst these two teams cancel each other out, Paris comes back to haunt her former club to earn Brighton and Hove Albion a draw. It finishes at the Amex Stadium. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Manchester United 1. Let's take the highlights from this encounter. Brighton playing in front of a record-breaking crowd at the Amex had some early defending to do. Hinata Miyazawa with this strike forced a good low save from Sophie Bagley. And it wasn't long before Manchester United broke the deadlock, seeing visit with yet another assist. Beautiful delivery into the area. It's tucked away, Grace Clinton. Calm composure from the young Manchester United player. Got the visitors off to a fantastic start. United dominated on ball for long phases in the opening 45 minutes. Elizabeth Turlan's movement causing some problems, but the former Brighton player didn't get on the score sheet this afternoon, although Ella Toon came incredibly close with her effort, and Bagley getting up great to deny on the second rebound. And Brighton arguably should have been even at the break, but Fallon Tullis-Joyce, the birthday girl for Manchester United, pinning off a fantastic save, and how important that proved to be. Going into the second half, Brighton made changes and to good effect. Michelle Ataman, the Arsenal loanee, proving to be really, really troublesome down the left-hand side. She linked up nicely with Madison Haley. And then the equaliser came. The build-up play from Brighton and Hove Albion. See, the danger was there. And then Nikita Paris against her former team. managed to score the goal that earns Brighton a point against Manchester United, and they earned it. They had to do some last gasp defending. United with a series of corners and set piece opportunities, but Brighton defended well in their last line of defence, and Sophie Bagley again proving to be resolute and resilient. Ella Toone had a chance on the outskirts of the 18-yard area, and Brighton too had some dangerous advances. Talis Joyce forced into a save to deny that effort from range. And then another save from Bagley. And it's honours even at the Amex Stadium. The points are shared between Brighton and Manchester United as it finishes Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Manchester United 1.